Hello everybody, and welcome to the face reading of the people in the news. For those of you who are with me today for the first time, if you get interested in the subject of face reading, you can watch my YouTube face reading introduction. You can also buy my book, Face Reading: Secrets for Successful Relationships. It is available on Amazon.com. Today I'm going to talk about Steven Spielberg, who has been entertaining us for over 50 years. He is one of the most popular and successful directors and producers in film history. We know him through such sci-fi, action, adventure films like this, and we know him through serious, thought-feeling, provoking masterpieces like this. From his first movie in 1968 till now, Steven Spielberg directed, yes, 34 movies. And after watching so many of them, I would say, wow, this is one of the most incredible movies I've ever seen. And then I would say the same again. So I'm going to do this face reading of a person whose work I admire greatly. I would say he is an Einstein of cinematography. By the way, I did the reading of Albert Einstein not so long ago. So let's look at Steven Spielberg morphologically. Let's look at what temperamental and personality traits make him who he is. As usual, we'll start with Steven's personality, the qualities he developed as a result of the influence of his environment, parents, school, friends. I chose a picture of Steven at a younger age, what he's here, 17 or 18, because here he does not have a beard, but also so that we could see where he's coming from. Remember, if a person lived with a certain face/personality for 10 or more years and then changed, he or she keeps the quality of the old personality and acquires new traits which correspond with the new face. On this picture, his head is a little tilted, so I will rotate the image a little bit here. And the shape of his face is, yes, Mercury, long Mercury. You may say, why not the sun? Like this. Well, because of the hairline. The sun usually have a dome hairline, like one of those on the left. And Steven has a straight line hairline, like one of these. And the closest shape, of course, is a long Mercury. Here are some people with long Mercury face. You can see Anderson Cooper's face is very similar to Steven's, young Steven's face. And what do we know about long Mercury? First of all, people with the long Mercury face possess all the qualities of the short Mercury, plus some unique characteristics which are only of long Mercury. So, 4 words that embody the Mercury, the short Mercury personality are quick, short, volatile, and talented. The Mercury have a very quick mind. They can zero in any idea and come back with their own ideas in no time. They have short attention span. It's not because they are unable to concentrate, but because they're interested in what's next. The Mercury can be quite moody and may go from being elated to miserable in a blink of an eye. They're hypersensitive and hyperactive. So someone's negative remark or a perceived judgment may easily throw them off. The Mercury are very talented and creative and can excel virtually in any idea, as long as it does not require long-term commitment. But remember, we're still talking only about the short Mercury. They can come up with new ideas, but they're also good at repackaging all ideas and things in a new way. People want to be around those with Mercury personality because it's fun, it's enriching, and there's always something going on in their lives and around them. They're very charming and have a wonderful sense of humor. They're generous in sharing their ideas and views. But Steven is a long Mercury, so as such he possesses the same intellectual characteristics as Mercury, but is more philosophical and spiritually oriented. Also, while the Mercury, short Mercury, are more into getting attention and impressing others, The long Mercury are more self-contained and self-confident. They're capable of making long-term intellectual commitments and using their will to stay on course. They're good scholars and are great at expressing their ideas in an orderly and organized manner. But time goes on, and as all of us, Stephen got older. With a little maturity, weight gain, and hair loss, he finally graduated into, yes, the sun, with the sun's deep understanding of things, slight detachment, and less need for attention and praise. Also, while we are at it, let's look at some Stephen's features. The large ears, which are far from the scalp, tell us that he is very independent. The straight across eyebrows, perfectly straight, meaning that by this age he was as stubborn as they come. And here we see the famous line along the mouth, which by now I spoke of many times. It's called executive power. He is not just a great dreamer, he also knows how to hammer his dreams into reality. So this combination of being independent, stubborn, and having the ability to make things happen in the physical world definitely would help any person, regardless of the area of interest, to accomplish his or her aspirations. Now add to it Venus lips, knowing how to talk his way by being sweet and or seductive. And the long almond-shaped nostrils tell us about high intelligence. And finally, let's now look at Stephen's temperament, the mental, physical, and energetic predispositions he came into this world with. Once again, I will have to rotate the picture a little bit because here he looks downward. What do you think? The jaw goes down, but it's short. That's the typical, line, the corner is not too far from the ear, but clearly you see this line. It's not coming all the way from under the ear like the nervous. So this is a bilious jaw. Now the chin, you can see, is not protruding like the one of the sanguine, and it's not receding like the one of the nervous. It's also a bilious chin. Now, what about the forehead? Yes, the forehead is tilted, but notice that the lower part of the forehead is in the perfect alignment with the chin. You can make a straight line, and that, of course, is also a bilious feature. So, is Stephen a pure bilious? What about the tilted forehead? That is true. We cannot ignore it. That's what makes his profile what we call a nervous cast. So, as a bilious, Steven Spielberg was born with great endurance, tremendous will, propensity toward being a leader, needing to have obstacles to overcome in order to feel at home. And the nervous cast added to the qualities the inborn sensitivity, hyperactivity, resourcefulness, and unbounded creativity. Now, to pull it all together, you know the expression, anything that could go wrong went wrong. Here, in this situation, we can say anything that could go right went right. The willful bilious with stubborn eyebrows allowed all the nervous creativity to be channeled into an orderly and deliberate pursuit. The scholarly inclination of the long Mercury, combined with the high intelligence, the nostrils, helped him to study in depth the subjects he addressed in his movies. The Venus lips made it easier to sell his ideas to the decision makers, and the detachment of the adult sun face made it easier for him to survive all the disappointments that come with the business. Mix it all together, and you still will have only the hardware of what a genius Steven Spielberg is. And what about the software? Well, the software is not the domain of face reading. If you want to know my opinion or my personal belief, the software is in the many, many lives of refining the soul's creativity and coming down in this last incarnation as a person we all know, Steven Spielberg. And that is all for my favorite filmmaker. Thank you for being with me today. Peace to all who want to live in peace.